Welcome to Rising Stars. I'm Vikram Oza. The healthcare market, that is quite a buzz. Startups that are dialing up the marketing landscape to garner more and more attention. But the importance of healthcare, that is not lost in a country like India, where according to the Medical Council, the doctor-patient ratio stands at around 1:1,674, while the World Health Organization, WHO's norm, is 1:1,000. So one doctor for every 1,000 patients. So there is a business case out there. You can't take that away. On the show today, we feature Satish Kannan. He's an engineer from IIT Madras with a history of working on cardiac machines. That's where he got the idea of getting patients to speak to doctors, I understand, directly through an app. It's now available in 17 regional languages, I'm told, and it facilitates 1,600 consultations every day. So that's a good number to start with, but a very warm welcome to Rising Stars. This app that you've got, Satish, that I'm told is very close to WhatsApp. And I'm thinking we're in a day and age where everyone has WhatsApp, and you're looking at tier 2, tier 3 towns as well. Everyone uses WhatsApp. Yes. And why do we need a different app?
So first of all, thank you for inviting DocsApp to the program. So it's more about a platform that is required by the doctors to be able to practice and provide consultations to patients across the country.
Okay.
So WhatsApp is more a personal solution where you chat with your friends and family. So the three things that the doctors wanted. One, I don't want to disclose my phone number.
Right.
Because I want to keep my privacy.
Yeah.
Two, I want to know when I want to be available for the consultations and when I'm not.
Right.
So you have to like switch on, switch off the WhatsApp in a technical sense.
Of course.
And then also be able to collect payments through the online methods.
Right.
So these three things are difficult to do on a WhatsApp model. So that is why there is DocsApp.
Right.
So DocsApp is there to empower specialist doctors to reach patients across the country.
Right. So you're doing more and more of that.
Yes.
And as I mentioned, the idea germinated because you were working in the healthcare space. But then there's enough competition in that space as well. So how much of a business case are you making right now when marketing expenses can be so high? I understand 30 lakh rupees a month is what you would actually spend. User acquisition can actually really take up those costs very high, and at the one level you're making about 100 to 500 rupees per consultation, right?
Yes.
So that is not substantial. So in terms of the entire business model for this, it'll get trickier as more and more startups come into this space.
Yeah, so a couple of things that we look at from perspective is one, the first 1 year or the first 2 years, you spend a lot of money investing in trying to build the technology and trying to get the word out. And in healthcare, what I've generally seen is trust is built over 2 to 3 years period. Yeah. I think we are like halfway there. And in another 2 years' time, we should be able to recover the money that we are spending on this in the process. And from a competition perspective, we have always felt that look at the customer and try to find out what is best for him and do that for him. And that's also why today we are the leader in the market. We are by like 5 times larger than the next guy, and provide more consultations than what a hospital would do. So if you look at Apollo Hospital or any single standing physical hospital, they do around 800 to 1,000 patients a day. So that clearly shows that there is value.
Yeah, but in broad terms, you are working like an online hospital, right? Yes. I mean, the infrastructure is what you provide. You facilitate these consultations.
Yes.
But there is an inherent risk in the business because you are in the medical profession. You are in the business of offering consultations, and sometimes consultations can go wrong. So there, I would imagine, be a system where you're verifying how good a doctor is. And also, of course, as far as patients are concerned, like you said, credibility is created over a period of time. So, but there is that risk. There is an insurance for every consultation that you do. How does that work?
So when you look at any business, there's always risk and there's always reward. And then as long as the reward is much larger than the risk, you need to go ahead and do the business. And primarily in the healthcare space, it's important for us to make it accessible, and that's also what DocsApp is trying to do. So what we've done is a couple of things to ensure that there's a very tight system. So one, we make sure that every doctor is verified. He's an extremely experienced person. That's why we select MD specialist doctors. They're not just MBBS, they're MD specialists. You need to have 5 years experience, and there's also an internal evaluation process before the doctor is on the platform. So stage 1. And stage 2 is even during the consultation, there's tools and technologies available for the doctor to make sure that he does a very good consultation. And the stage 3 is there is a review system to ensure that at random, doctor consultations are provided help with to ensure that it is a very clean consultation. Now, from a insurance perspective, what we've also done is every consultation that's happening through the platform is insured for close to 3 crore rupees.
Every consultation?
Every consultation. So that's because when we are trying to do a new business or when you're trying to create a new kind of a wave, it's a paradigm shift, right? So you need to take the effort to make it comfortable for the customer, which is the patient, another customer is the doctor, and fundamentally our business and the business risk. So
but then that's a huge cost that you're taking on by way of premium as well, right? That's further outgo for your hard-earned money.
No, so what I would say is think long-term, think 10 years, think to 15 years. We'll be the largest player in this world. So when you have to look at that kind of speed and that kind of scale is when you need to invest heavily in the initial days, and that's also why we are the leader today.
Right.
That's why we are 5 times bigger than the largest guy.
Right. So, yeah, you mentioned that, and that is good, but the sustainability of it is where the key is going to be.
Yes.
So, of course, you're going to continue to grow. I'm sure that you will.
Yes.
You have raised close to $2 million, and this has happened in one round,
yes.
but there is more money that you're going to require. So how much
yes.
more funding are we looking at for you, and by when?
Yeah, so today, because every consultation on the platform, so close to 50,000 consultations every month, so all of them are paid. And then, so that ensures that there is some amount of comfort from a cash flow perspective.
Yes.
And so from an investment perspective, we would look at another 5 to 6 million in might be end of this year,
yes.
early next year actually. And that will be spent primarily on two things: building the network again.
Right.
So we have to build more doctors and more labs and medicines to the platform.
Right.
And the second is purely on data sciences and technology that we want to invest in.
Right.
So that's the two key areas that we will be.
And what about value-added services? Because
yes.
like whether it is about the pickups for labs or perhaps medicines, are those going to be revenue generating at all, or do you think consultation is where the business needs to be?
Okay, so the primary business for us will start with consultations. And wherever medicines is to be delivered or labs are to be delivered, we partner with different players in different geographies. And then so we make considerable margin in labs and medicines also.
Right.
So today, because of the coverage, there is it is constituting a smaller percentage of the consultation base. But going forward, I would say close to 50% of revenue would be from labs and medicines.
Yes.
Another 50% would be from.
And a lot more revenues are going to come from tier 3 towns and below?
Yes, yes. So today, close to 40% of my customer base is actually from smaller towns. When I say smaller towns, it's tier 3 and below. So
because
below
of the access issues?
Yeah, because of access
otherwise, because
yes.
They can't reach their doctors?
Yes, yes. So one of the things that you started in the beginning of this thing was about how you got one doctor for every 1,600 patients, right?
Yes.
What's more important to look at it is how many specialist doctors do you have? So you have hardly 1.5 lakh specialists for close to 125 crores.
Right.
So it's like really bad in that case.
Yeah.
So in smaller towns, you don't get a specialist. Specialist means child specialist, women specialist, skin specialist. You don't get cardiologist. You don't get
payment gateways are important to establish for these because
yes.
the credit card system, etc., may not be very, very efficient.
So that's something that's again the place where again DocsApp has innovated a lot around payment gateways. I would say a patient called me from Bihar and told me, hey, I want to talk to a doctor. I told, please pay money. He told, हमारे पास credit card, debit card, Paytm सब नहीं है, तो क्या करेंगे हम? So I told, hey, you need to pay money to talk to the doctor. So interestingly, what he gave me, the idea that he gave me was, आप अपना phone number बोलिए, मैं आपको phone recharge कराता हूँ. So that's
unusual. That's the kind of jugaad that we live in.
Yes. So that is because in small towns, people used to transfer money by recharging your mobile phone.
Right.
I take 100 rupees, I recharge your phone. So today, DocsApp is the only platform that allows you to make payment using Airtel balance, Vodafone balance, Idea balance, all of them. So it's another reason why we've been able to penetrate smaller towns, and it's a large untapped market that exists over there.
Right.
So all this investment that you talk about is actually for all of that.
Building towards that. Well, we wish you great luck, Satish Kannan of DocsApp. Such pleasure talking to you, and good luck on this venture that you started on.
Hey, thank you for inviting DocsApp. I think we need to make high quality healthcare accessible to the world and to India first, and that's essentially what DocsApp is trying to do now.
It's a great journey that you started on. Thanks very much. And with that, it's going to be a wrap on this edition of our show, Rising Stars. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.